Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Temecula Community Services Commission meeting. It is Monday, August 12th at 6 o'clock p.m., and we'll call this meeting to order. First, we're going to have the flag salute, so if everyone would stand and please prepare to salute our flag.
You leading it?
Thank you, everyone, and welcome. Glad you're here tonight. Next, we're going to have our roll call. Our Secretary, Isabel Morales, will provide that.
Okay, let's begin with the roll call. Commissioner Audi.
Here.
Vice Chair Hawks.
Here.
Chairperson Kingsburg.
Here.
Okay, 3 present with 2 excused absences. Thank you.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for that, Isabel. Tonight we have a presentation, so we're looking forward to that. The presentation is going to be in regard to the Community Recreation Center Summer Day Camp. It's concluded now, a recap of that, and I believe Jessica Walker will be presenting that. So thank you, Jessica.
Is it on? Okay. Thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Jessica Walker, and I am the supervisor at the Community Recreation Center, and I oversee the Summer Day Camp program. Day Camp is such a unique and special program that has taken place at the CRC for over 30 years. Many of our staff have been through every step of camp, starting out as campers themselves before moving on to become junior counselors and eventually becoming paid counselors who come back summer after summer. Because of this, our staff has a unique sense of pride with this program, which is why it has been such a success and why families come back to us and trust us with their children year after year. Today, we would like to touch on how camp is structured and then go into the programming and all the fun things that we do. Day camp runs for 8 weeks each summer, this year being from June 17th through August 9th. We have a total of 120 campers, 20 junior counselors, and 33 staff members. Our staffing structure includes 1 director, who oversees camp staff and scheduling, plans activities, and manages camper behavior. 6 assistant directors who oversee each age group in camp, including the junior counselors, and also provide administrative assistance. And 26 counselors who work directly with the campers and facilitate activities with the campers. Our campers participate in a variety of fun and engaging activities each week of camp. Activities include weekly excursions, crafts, games, talent shows, Camp Olympics, water games, scavenger hunts, and swimming, to name a few. Day camp is broken down into the following age groups. We have our 6 MIGs, 9+ and teens, and then also our junior counselors. And now I'd like to go ahead and introduce our camp director, Anna, who will provide information on our staff trainings.
Thank you, Jessica, and good evening, Commissioners. My name is Anastasia Giovanetti, and I am the Day Camp Director. I have been with our camp for the last 5 years, and I am very proud of our Day Camp program. I think most of its success can be attributed to our staff. We pride ourselves on having extensive training before summer begins in order to get our staff comfortable with the endless potential outcomes of having 120 children in one building. Some of the things we train on include job duties. So, for instance, what does their day-to-day look like? What can they expect? We also cover CPR, first aid, allergies, and EpiPens. We train on a variety of medical emergencies and non-emergencies in order to best be prepared. We do mandated reporter training. We also train for special needs campers. All our staff are trained on how to create an inclusive environment for all campers. We train on behavior management. This is a very important part of our training, and we focus more on critical thinking and planning ahead so we can mitigate behavioral issues in our day-to-day. We also train in emergency action plans. We plan and practice scenarios for many different emergencies, including lost minors, earthquakes, serious injuries, etc. And then we plan games and activities. The biggest part of our camp is that it is supposed to be fun. So not only do we train staff in a variety of fun games and activities, we also play them as a team during our training so they can get an in-person feel for how these games work. I would now like to introduce our Assistant Director, Miley.
Thank you, Anna, and good evening, Commissioners. My name is Miley Montolano, and I am the Day Camp Floating Assistant Director. I've had the pleasure of being a part of this program for 3 years, starting as a counselor. In my current role, I oversee camp operations alongside the director, Anna, ensuring the smooth functioning of day camp while also supporting various administrative duties. It's been an honor to contribute to a camp that has such a unique culture and leaves a lasting impact. One of the key features of our day camp is the themed weeks and excursions. Each week, we immerse our campers in a new theme, creating exciting and memorable experiences to coincide with our weekly excursion. Here's a brief overview of all the weekly themes and excursions. We started the summer with a Hollywood Stars themed week, including a trip to Regal Cinemas to watch Inside Out 2. Week 2 was Adventure Island, where campers got to experience the Aquarium of the Pacific. Week 3 was circus themed, where the excitement of the circus came to life, ending with our very own SDC Carnival at the CRC. Following this, in week 4, we had our Wild West theme to match the frontier spirit of Knott's Berry Farm. Week 5 was Jungle Week, where our campers explored the wild during a visit to the San Diego Zoo. Week 6 featured an ocean-themed adventure that ended with a trip to SeaWorld. Week 7 was our Amazing Artist theme, where campers got to experience multiple museums at Balboa Park. And lastly, we wrapped up the summer with the Decades theme, ending our summer at the Safari Park in Escondido, where we ran into a former commissioner, Dale Porkinson. Each theme and excursion was designed to engage and create lasting memories for our campers, giving them a rich experience that summer day camp offers. Now, I'd like to introduce Lex, our Six Mix Assistant Director, who will share more about our youngest campers' experiences.
Thank you, Miley. My name is Lex Stetz, and this summer I was the Assistant Director for the Six Mix group. I've worked at summer camp for 3 years now, my first 2 years working as a counselor within the Six Mix group. The group consists of 50 campers that range from ages 6 to 9, as well as 10 counselors. In Six Mix, we did a variety of fun activities. For example, each week we did Tasty Tuesday, where campers would enjoy a treat related to our weekly theme. Each treat had an interactive component, so the campers were able to participate in making their own food. Throughout the summer, some of our treats included Under the Sea cookies for Ocean Explorers Week, tie-dye cupcakes for Amazing Artists Week, and Hulk pudding cups for Superhero Week. In addition to this, the Six Mix group enjoyed a handful of sensory-oriented crafts that often related to our camp themes as well. During our Wild West Week, campers were able to pan for gold, and during our Ocean Explorers Week, they made ocean slime. Six Mix also enjoyed crafting their own paper stuffed animals and sensory bottles. In our group, the campers also enjoyed plenty of art-related activities. Campers painted treasure boxes, designed their own superhero masks and safari binoculars, decorated dinosaur wind chimes, and did plenty of watercolor painting and coloring. All of our campers also enjoyed 2 visits from Tony Moromaco with Bigfoot Art, who taught our campers how to create a self-portrait and design their own superhero. Lastly, all of our age groups enjoyed using the CRC pool on their swim days to cool off. In addition to this, all campers also do water games once a week, such as water balloons, slip and slides, and water guns. Next, I would like to introduce Kyle, our 9+ Assistant Director.
Hello, thank you, Lex. My name is Kyle Beer, and I was the Assistant Director for 9+ this summer. Like Lex, I've worked for 2 years as a counselor, and our group also had 10 counselors and 50 campers aged 9 to 12. In our group, the kids like to stay active by playing a lot of games, and this year we did a lot of STEAM activities, so science, technology, engineering, arts, math. For example, our Adventure Week had an Around the World activity that had 6 stations for different countries, and like origami for Japan, a tower building challenge for France, and several others. Every morning we would take some time to also play the New York Times games online like Wordle and many other those games that had the campers think critically. We also used the Ronald Reagan Sports Park to play games such as kickball and other ball games where they had more room to run. We also went to the playground. And in addition to group activities, we also had camp-wide events that took several days of planning. One of these was the Olympics, which featured rotating games like tug-of-war, sponge race, and an obstacle course that teams would participate and face other groups. At the end, we had a closing ceremony where groups were given medals and prizes. Another whole day event was the carnival. As mentioned previously, the carnival replaced an off-site excursion, but we contracted face paint, balloon artists, and jolly jumps, including a dunk tank, inflatable games, obstacle courses, and other carnival games. Our campers were able to earn points throughout the day and go home with prizes. Next up, I would like to introduce Ty, who will talk more about our oldest campers at camp.
Thank you, Kyle, for that beautiful introduction. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Ty Pereira. I am the Assistant Camp Director for our Teen Camp program. It's an honor to be here today to share with you the inner workings of how we run our camp. My team consists of 5 counselors and 20 campers, ranging from ages 12 to 14. I've been a counselor for about 2 years before taking on the role of Assistant Director this year. I'm super excited to walk you through the key aspects of our program that make our camp a unique and enriching experience. One of our standout activities is Teen Shark Tank, hosted by Jeff Waldleton, where campers create and pitch their own business ideas. With themes like movies, snack brands, and video games, teens learn to develop and present their concepts, manage resources, and think creatively. It's a fun and practical way for them to explore entrepreneurship and see their ideas come to life. Another highlight of our teen camp is our exclusive teen field trips, which offer a fun and informal way for campers to bond. Excursions like bowling alleys, water parks, mini golf courses, and amusement parks provide a relaxed setting where teens can socialize and enjoy themselves outside of structured activities. This year, thanks to Community Service Manager Yvette Martinez, we were able to use the human service van for these trips. Another activity we offer is our East Coffee school trips. Located up the hill from our building, this small coffee shop provides a relaxing start to the morning with sweet pastries and refreshing drinks. On the way back, we stop at our local park to unwind and enjoy the playground. One of the most anticipated events at our camp is our Friday costume contest. Each week, campers and counselors embrace a different theme from Western to decades and showcase their creative costumes. While the best costume earns a trophy, every participant receives a prize, ensuring that everyone leaves feeling like a winner. It is now my pleasure to introduce Azriel and Carmina, our Assistant Directors for Junior Counselor Program, who play a vital role in shaping and guiding our camp experience for younger participants.
Thank you, Ty. My name is Azrael De La Rosa, and alongside my co-assistant director, Carmina Inguito, we oversee Day Camp's Junior Counselor Program. This program is very near and dear to us, as both of us have had the unique privilege of being junior counselors for years before we came on officially as Day Camp staff. We have both just finished our 7th summer with Day Camp, having had the previous opportunities to serve myself as 6 Mix Assistant Director and Carmina 9+ Assistant Director in years prior. I say this because our day camp experience has been a key resource in being able to create a program that is built upon genuine connections between staff and volunteers, the initiative to create a fun and safe environment for our patrons, as well as the opportunity to participate in a very hands-on volunteer experience. And like Jessica mentioned earlier, one of our main goals is to retain a camp culture based upon the experiences of those who have been part of camp at every stage. I will now pass it on to Carmina, who will talk more about all that our program has to offer.
This program is created to build confidence, relationships, job skills, and knowledge of working with children that are not only applicable to various careers, but also in preparation for becoming, hopefully, a counselor one day. Junior counselors are the backbone of SDC and help in every aspect of camp, from setting up games and activities, assisting counselors on excursions, to being a leader of their own by being able to apply their camp knowledge on a daily basis. Throughout the summer, our volunteers have the opportunity to shadow staff, earn community service hours, and overall be a part of a unique, hands-on experience that makes each of them a vital addition to our team that allows camp to run as smoothly as it does all summer long. Some of the topics we train junior counselors on include CPR and first aid, the ins and outs of camp and our daily routine, resume building and networking, teamwork, communication, camp safety, special needs campers, emergency action plans where we practice different scenarios for off-site and on-site emergencies with day camp staff,
and navigating the transition from junior counselor to counselor. Now, we would like to take a moment to recognize some of this summer's junior counselors who have dedicated well over 3,400 hours altogether in these last 8 weeks. On behalf of all of us at SDC, your hard work has not gone unnoticed, and we are very proud of each and every one of you. When you hear your name, please come up and receive your certificate.
Megan Hammond. Yuna Reinholz. Elia Reinholz. Chase McFadden. Gianna Di Benedetto. Chiara Giustiniani. Samantha Kotner. Nathaniel Bentley. Caleb Williams.
All right, well, this concludes our presentation of this year's summer day camp, and we would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. It was so nice to hear from so many of you and get a feel for the program. We'll go ahead and give the commissioners an opportunity to add questions or comments, and Commissioner Adi is up first.
Okay, well, I don't have any questions. I did get an opportunity to go over to the smaller camp at the MRC and get to eat some popsicles and sing some songs with them. So, just from the presentation, guys, I can see that they're totally engaged and having a great time. And what an amazing opportunity they have to just have experiences in the summertime. I was impressed with when Anna said, in terms of behavior management, the involvement of critical thinking and planning ahead, and those are just life skills that you can't learn every day, so to have that experience in summer school, in summer camp is amazing, so appreciate that going on. And then Miley, you probably got some special treatment from Commissioner Borgeson. Yeah, I know. I plan my trips with my grandkids on the days that he's there because you get some special tours and insights. But anyway, just great stuff. Amazing program. Thank you so much for all you provide for our community.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Adi. Vice Chair Hawks?
Wow. Ms. Walker, I really am impressed with the quality of the camp. That each group has their unique activities, and they traveled far. They didn't just stay in the CRC, they even went to San Diego, very impressive. And also, I really appreciate how you train up the next generation of leaders. Just I'm so thrilled to see these young junior counselors, and they stayed a few years, and now they are assistant directors and directors.
Yeah.
So really well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vice Chair Hawks. Good comments, guys. I'm kind of in the same plane here, same themes on my end. Yeah, I like how you guys spoke about, hey, that ultimately this is supposed to be fun, right? It's summertime and the kids are supposed to have fun, but you also mentioned it's not reckless fun, it's safety. You have to have safety as number one. And then, as was alluded to, the fact that you've been able to build this culture over time and keep people in the program and give them escalated roles as they go is just really impressive. And then that maintains the culture, as you said, the cultural continuity. So It's good to see that our young people are getting opportunities, outside of the school setting, on, mentoring and leadership skills. These are great opportunities for people, for young people. I think that's great. And, man, all these excursions, I want to be a kid again. I want to get in this camp and go on all these excursions in Southern California and have somebody give me a ride there, in a nice, comfortable bus, hopefully. So anyway, great job. Keep up the good work. And I know I got over to the same camp Mr. Adi did briefly, the Camp SOAR, but I'll definitely put this on my list for next summer to make it by. So great job. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Real quick, if I may just interject here, I just wanted to thank the team for coming out tonight and taking the time out of your evening to come here and present to our commissioners, and also for all the time you put in this summer to make sure our kids had just an amazing time. Also, just wanted to let everyone know, unfortunately, our day camp director, Anna, will be leaving us and not coming back next year, but good news for her, she got a position as a long-term substitute teacher at Murrieta. So congratulations on that, and thank you for being with us.
Okay, and again, nice so many people came out tonight to support all the hard work of the young folks. And again, our feelings will not be hurt if you guys get up and exit. We're going to move on to the business part of our meeting, and you're certainly welcome to stay as long as you want. But if you get up and go now, we will not be offended. So I just wanted to put that out there. Give them that opportunity. Okay, so the next part of our meeting tonight is public comments. Isabel, do we have public comments tonight?
Yes, we have one public comment on a non-agenda item from Mr. Brian Tam of the Badminton City Program.
Okay. Well, welcome, Mr. Tam. You can come right on up. And I will share with you that you have 3 minutes to give your comments tonight, but we look forward to hearing them.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Chairman and the Community Service Council Commissioners for giving us this opportunity to speak in regards of our request for inclusion of badminton activities in the city's community programs. My name is Brian Tan, and I stand here on behalf of our badminton community in Temecula. And behind me here, we got some of the avid participants of the badminton activities. First, we would like to express our sincere gratitude for the city's support over the past year. We were given the opportunity to rent the basketball court to play badminton since last August. Your assistance has provided a valuable space for badminton enthusiasts in Temecula to gather and foster a sense of community. As a new resident of Temecula, actually my wife and I moved here in 2022. And we have witnessed the growing interest and love for badminton in our community. To foster this enthusiasm, last year I was recognized as a lead organizer to liaise directly with the city. Our goal is to ensure effective communication without causing any inconvenience to our busy city staff. So our group, which began with just a dozen members, has now grown to over 100 individuals. Actually, there's 118 from diverse backgrounds, including the Chinese, Vietnamese, Filipino, Laotian, and Americans. This stable and inclusion community has been meeting regularly for the past year with consistent participation of 15 to 30 people per session, which is about 3 hours per week, actually. So we understand that badminton has not yet established a broad following in Temecula and is seen as a popular sport in Asia. However, badminton is no longer solely an Asian sport. Its popularity has surged globally, and as evidenced by the United States athletes participating in both the women's doubles and men's singles competition at the recent Paris Olympics. This demonstrates that badminton has the potential of growing beyond its current niche. The rise of any sport within a city requires concerted efforts from various stakeholders, including the city itself. For example, pickleball's popularity has surged recently, and I'm thrilled to see that support Temecula City has given to the sport. However, due to the nature of the badminton, to the nature of badminton, they can only play it indoors to avoid any effects of wind that can blow the shuttlecocks off the course. So additionally, while we were currently renting the gymnasium, it's not a regular badminton court. There are no proper badminton court lines, and by hanging nets over the volleyball poles and using temporary markings placed on the floor, the spaces can only accommodate 2 standard badminton courts, allowing just 8 players to play the doubles simultaneously.
Sir, unfortunately, your
Oh,
3 minutes
yes,
has
I have.
expired and some change, but I want to let you know you have been heard, and we're not able to comment immediately at this time, but we certainly
Understood.
have as part of the public record, and we have your information, so thank you for being here. And
Okay, thank you so much, and we look forward to eagerly working with you guys. Thank you.
all right, thank you. Okay, so moving on into our agenda now, we have our division reports, and for the first part of that will be the recreation report, and that'll be Alan Gizar. So welcome, Alan. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Commissioner. My name is Alan Gizar, and I'm a Senior Recreation Leader for the Rentals Division. Tonight, I will be providing the report for the Recreation Division. So if it's all right with you guys, I'd like to begin. Let's begin with an update from aquatics. Throughout the month of July, there were over 3,000 students registered for swim lessons. And due to high demand, additional sessions for group swim and semi-private swim lessons have also been added. In addition to that, we provided free aquasize classes to participants this summer as part of Free Fit in the parks with an approximate total of 240 participants. On July 31st, we celebrated National Lifeguard Appreciation Day and awarded some of our outstanding staff. Our aquatics team also continues to participate in weekly training sessions and have attended interactive leadership workshops. For those interested, registration for American Red Cross lifeguarding and water safety instructor courses is currently open. Throughout the month of July, our contract classes division offered a variety of classes, including teen screenwriting, watercolor painting, tennis, and more. This summer, we also offered sunset yoga in the park and trail walks. In addition to standard classes, we offered 69 camps to almost 4,000 students. Camps range from baking to basketball and coding to tennis, offering something to everyone in our community. Summer day camp at the CRC began on Monday, June 17th, and had their last day this past Friday, August 9th. For each of the sessions, camp staff offer fun games, crafts, and field trips for all participants to enjoy. And the Teen Zone continues to offer fun activities for participants, such as making cookie brownies, fruit kebabs, participating in relay races, and seashell painting. This summer, teens have been able to participate in teen trips. Last month, they went to the Wave Water Park to enjoy water slides and a lazy river. Their next outing is at Pins and Pockets on November 26th. Staff also hosted their first Teen Zone barbecue on July 10th, as well as an end-of-summer glow pool party on August 2nd. Mark your calendars for Saturday, October 19th. This will be our next skate park jam, featuring scooters and a costume contest. In the month of July, we had 9 street exits, which tallies us up to 100 for the year thus far. This was a result of our continued outreach efforts between city staff, RSO, and SWAG. Some of the street exits this month include connecting one client to a residential treatment facility in Indio and another to physical therapy. Over at the library, they had over 22,000 visitors and 64,000 circulated items. They offered fun programs like Book Your Adventure and Bad Art Night. This month, they are looking forward to Music Trivia Night on the 29th. The rentals division had an impact of 2,444. A majority of our rentals were the picnic shelters with 22 reservations and over 1,000 patrons. This summer concert series came to an end on July 25th, and they were a hit every Thursday night. The special events team also hosted a dedication ceremony for the renaming of the Ronald J. Parks Community Recreation Center. Join us next month for the National Preparedness Fair on September 7th. Staff hosted a ribbon cutting for the new dog park at Mike Nagar Community Park, and we were joined by several commissioners. This past month, maintenance completed resurfacing of the tennis courts at Great Oak High School and rehab the parking lots at Birdsall Sports Park. As you can see, the sports division is preparing for the fall season as several local recognized leagues are scheduled to begin. In addition to the leagues, rental groups have been at full capacity for fields and hockey rinks. Some of their upcoming sports include locally recognized football, soccer, baseball, and softball. Their total impact this past month tallies 949 participants. And yeah, this should conclude my report, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. We'll give commissioners a chance to make comments or ask questions, and again, we'll start with Commissioner Adi.
Alan, great job. Thanks so much. Really appreciate the way you put that content in a nice summary form.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I do have one question maybe for James, since he's still here. On the badminton, what exactly are they allotted for right now inside the gym? Well, you can, no, it's fine right there. Just
Actually, if you come up just so it's recorded, that'd be
okay,
great.
great.
Yeah, from the mic.
Sorry, James.
So this group met with Andrew and Sergio, I believe, a week or two ago. They have been renting the gym for 3 hours. I believe it's on Saturdays. And they are averaging 15 to 30 people, as he mentioned. However, they didn't include that they also have their kids playing with them.
Okay.
So they are looking now, instead of paying $55 for 3 hours, for the city to go ahead and open up a program so it's free. So it's been discussed that if we went forward with that it would have to be either adults or youths. We don't mix due to liability and safety reasons, even though if we're talking about badminton. So that's, I think, why they're coming there. We've been renting it to them for a very long time, about close to a year, and now they're looking to come to the city. They wanted to go to council. We guided them to come talk to you guys first, which they did, and now they would like us to start a program for less than 30 people and utilize gym space. You got to remember, we have one gym in the city for, close to 120,000 people. So it's very full. We could accommodate a little bit at a little time. We discussed prior, if we wanted to try a pilot program, we might be able to get in there. I hate to do that to a certain extent as false hope, because if they're not maintaining, we got to talk to the Community Recreation Center about their staffing hours. There's a whole compile of things that we could bring back to you if you needed. So that's why they basically came in a nutshell.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate they were able to come and talk to us first.
Yeah.
I appreciate
We
that
told them
recommendation.
this is the place to come first.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
So I'll take the opportunity then to ask you a little bit about, are we still in any joint use agreements with the school district on gymnasiums?
currently, we're not.
Okay. So the last one would have probably been TBA, is that?
Yeah, that's probably a decade ago, if that, or
Okay.
more, that last time we utilized that. And basically, that was for TYBL, our local
okay.
youth
Okay.
organization that would utilize it for games, especially on Saturdays. Just, once again, having one gym to get that many teams through.
Okay.
They've accommodated, they've started playing games during the week, and on the weekends to accommodate using one gym. So we haven't used TV in a long time, and we no longer have a joint use with them.
Okay. I'm
We're using
interested. Yeah, I'm interested in hearing more about that probably at a later date. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for that information.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Just to follow up that, what's the requirement usually for how many members that in the group that we start to allow them to use a city facility for free?
We don't have a specific number, for example, or we have a city program. It's basically you pay $1 for a membership if you're a Temecula resident. On Wednesday night, we have adult volleyball, and we're averaging 30 to 50 people that come in. We have our adult basketball that comes in from 11:30 to 1:30. That fluctuates. It can be up from 20 to 30, and one day it might be 15. So that one fluctuates, but it's based upon demand. And obviously, it sounds like, in their opinion, there's a demand, but you got to understand we're running air conditioning in there. We're, we want to serve our public the best we can. And that's why we would entertain an idea of a pilot program. If it was for a month, what you do is when you come in, you have to buy a membership for $1, and then there's a sign-in sheet, and then that kind of keeps us a tally of who's coming in. We have a staff member that's there that's to make sure that they have their membership and we have their information on file. So, within a month, we could tell you, there was 15 this day, there was 10 this day, and then we kind of get that average to see if it's worth, expenditure versus revenue kind of deal. And obviously, there's no revenue because it's $1. So, hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
That kind of led to a question for me, that they've been coming in on Saturdays, is that correct?
I'm going to look this way, I believe so.
Is that,
Saturdays.
have they suggested, or has discussions gone, that there'd be some flexibility in when they came in, or is Saturday the day that they're all able to come and are interested? And
It's been expressed to me, once again, I apologize, keep looking back. These are the guys that are on the front lines that have talked to them.
Yeah.
But what's been expressed to me is they like Saturdays.
Sure.
They prefer Saturdays because their kids aren't in school or after
Right.
school or homework or whatever that may be. We have our TYBL, our youth league,
Right.
that's going to start up in December, and they go through the end of February, and Saturdays gets completely booked. So
Right.
it's working out now. I think their question mark is they're paying $55 for 3 hours. And they want to
Got it.
play for free. Once again, they did make it clear that there's no lines. We cannot put lines on there. We just refinished it right when we were under renovation a couple years ago. They do use some temporary markers that they bring in, which is fine with us. Doesn't scuff up the floor.
Right.
That's been brought to attention to staff on that. That was their concern, that they wanted lines, and we just can't accommodate that at this time. But I think that answers the question.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much.
Okay,
Thanks, James.
Appreciate it, James.
thank you.
Okay, so that concludes, Mr. Audi, you're good?
Yes.
Okay, so
Thanks
Vice Chair
again, Alan.
Hawks.
Thank you, Alan, and welcome. And I have a couple of questions about the teen zone. So the July 10th, the barbecue or the August pool party, how many teens were participating?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I can get them for you.
Okay.
I just commented I should have had Mike Wooten stay since he was, or Jessica Walker, since they were over the teen zone and they were here earlier, so.
I'm asking that because in the past, when there seems the number, or the past report seems that wasn't very high, so I just want to know if with the addition of these new excursions, the pool parties, if we've seen the changes in the numbers.
If I can jump in, I believe the number is 50. Sorry, Jessica just happened to tell me last week because we advertise on social media, so I was very interested to see if our social media posts worked, and it seemed to. They had 12 registered before we posted, and then 50, so.
Okay, that's really good. And I look forward to going to Teen Zone this Friday because I thought, and I also appreciate the addition of special hours for homeschool
students, teens, since I'm a homeschool mom and I have teen, just turned 14 actually. Today is his birthday. Oh, thank you. So I'm going to bring him over there Friday, and he invited some friends. Just want to see if this going to, hopefully can bring more teens or from the homeschool communities to go.
And we plan to be there with cameras that day. So we're excited to hear people be there because it's our first event doing it. So we're going to take some pictures so we can start advertising that to the homeschool families for Fridays.
Yes. Yes, that will be great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Hawks. Yeah, I just have a few reflections, observations. As Commissioner Audi said, Alan, thank you for all that information and summarizing what was a great deal of information and activity. I mean, looking at what the department did over the month is just amazing. I mean, the swim numbers are obviously up, they're high. I appreciated hearing about the weekly training they do for their instructors on Friday, and that was congruent with what we heard from the summer camp. And so obviously training and bringing people up to speed and repetition is really important. Again, a lot of information quickly, but I didn't get all the detail, but it did seem like there was a lot of variety in the team zone activities that were shared, different opportunities for students. I know we prefer not to have homeless and not to have homeless exits, but since we have them, to get 100, I'm sure to hit that number, it shows a barometer of success and progress in addressing that issue. I was able to go by that last summer concert, and so I was kind of curious about that number. So seeing that 1,700, and obviously it was a huge audience, and it was nice to see a strong finish to that. I know it was somewhat expected because that group, I guess, had been there before the classic journey, but it was a really good finish, and people really seemed to be enjoying themselves that evening. And great to see the adult leagues up and running already. Getting them going in August. And I saw on our calendar that Isabel sent out, it's kind of an open invitation if we would like to stop by. So I'm hoping to make it by one of those and check in on how those leagues are going. I thought I heard from you, Alan, and I know we talked about it a little bit last time. We'd seen an advertisement on social media about the trail walks. Did those occur? And if so, did we get any takers? Because I know I kept looking at it every week, and I kind of put it on my calendar, and I go, man, it's hot tonight. So I'm just kind of curious about that.
They did occur.
Okay.
The last one was low attendance. The classes team has kind of been organizing that, so they are working on a program so they can continue that monthly. Okay. So hopefully as the weather starts to get a little bit cooler, we'll see attendance pick up a little bit. Sure. But the feedback has been extremely positive, so we're excited to see if we can grow that program in some sort of way moving forward.
Thank you, Dawn. Mm-hmm. Great to hear. Yeah, that sounds really encouraging. Good potential there. Okay, so we'll move on then to the second part of our division reports, and good to have you back, Willa. Willa Augustine, Community Services Supervisor 1. You're going to talk about arts and culture?
That's correct.
All right.
I think first we're going to start with community outreach and media relations. We've been keeping it real with all our amazing reels last month. In fact, July was National Parks and Rec Month. We were sought out by the National Recreation and Park Association, the NRPA, to collab on 2 separate reels, giving us a national platform via social media. We also presented at City Council on July 9th, as well as last week at the Ready Commission. In other news, we rolled out a huge campaign for Care Solace, and next month we'll be hosting our first ever in-person Parks and Rec social media forum here at City Hall. We've also been very busy with special projects. Currently, we have 8 new Remembrance Tree applications for the fall planting. We've received 16 Path of Honor applications for the fall installment. That deadline was just last Friday. We have all 33 spots filled for the 24 Military Banner Program. We have 19 parks and trails adopted through our Adopt a Park program. And we had 327 volunteers department-wide, with 4 new volunteer lives scanned this month. Who's ready for a margarita? Well, I know the staff at the Temecula Valley Museum is. We featured Aliento, a tequila, the spirit of tequila, from June 21st to August 11th at the museum. We also hosted a very educational Culture Quest summer camp from July 8th to the 18th. And we celebrated the state of Vermont for Culture Days. We continued the celebration with the Earl Stanley Gardner's birthday at Out of the Archives, and with the help of Bigfoot art classes students, we unveiled the art mural entitled A Day in the Life of Bees, celebrating World Honeybee Day. And I'm pretty sure we saw a few bees that day as well. Now let's throw our berets on and head over to the arts and culture, where we enjoyed Temecula Valley Art League at our monthly art nights, as well as showcase some amazing artists in our galleries, such as Beverly Squire in the Rotunda Gallery, Kelly Moore at the library, Rebecca Potts Aguirre at the Civic Center, and Temecula Valley Art League at the Merc. Konnichiwa from our sister city, Dyson, Japan. We welcome the student delegation, dignitaries, and host families at our commemorative breakfast on July 25th. Our new museum exhibit coming up on August 16th is the Ralph Love Plein Air Competition, which will conclude with a reception on Friday, September 20th, when the winners will be announced in person. Also, the upcoming Culture Day on September 14th will celebrate Mexico. Like I said, the museum loves their margaritas. Next slide. Now, setting the stage for what comes next. Well, it's the theater, of course. Performances in July included Disney's Beauty and the Beast Jr. and Disney's Beauty and the Beast Broadway musical, which they actually used the same set pieces, and they were absolutely brilliant. Next slide. Now let's skidoo on down to the Merc. We enjoyed jazz, country live, speakeasy, classics, Brazilian Latin jazz, and stand-up comedy in the month of July. Human Services soared with the Eagles at their Camp Soar program over at the MRC. Not to mention, they fed hundreds of patrons at the Summer Food Services program, hosted at both Rotary and Mike Nagar Community Parks. Now let's skip on over to Inclusive Services. High Hopes participants enjoyed a refreshing pool party, and Skip participants treated themselves to an ice cream social in the month of July. Over at the Mary Phillips Senior Center, we hosted 2 senior talks last month, as well as celebrated 3 birthdays. The Senior Center will continue to serve as a cool center through the summer months. The seniors also celebrated the changing of the flag for their monthly event. The seniors also enjoyed a visit from our sister city, Dyson student delegation, where they enjoyed a luncheon together. Next slide. And finally, let's take a peek at our future business leaders and see what workforce development's been up to. The Mayor's Intern Appreciation Luncheon was a huge success, hosting 102 participants with guest speakers Mayor Stewart, City Manager Adams, and Director Russo. The Youth Innovators Program had 9 participants that helped facilitate a number of programs this summer, such as Junior STEM Camp, Science Fair, Leadership Academy, Youth Entrepreneurs, and the Intern Appreciation Luncheon. In the Legal Scholars Program, we had 29 college students participating in LSAT preparation, law school tours, and courtroom shadowing. Next slide. In the Medical Career Pathways Program, we had 48 high school students participants who heard lectures from physicians, nurses, ultrasound technicians, and mental health counselors. In the Future Physician Leaders Program, we had 35 college students participants completing their CPR certification course and their test preparation for the MCAT. And this concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Great, thank you, Willa. Very impressive as always. Appreciate all the information. Go ahead and give commissioners a chance to comment or question. Let's mix it up. We'll go with Vice Chair Hawks this time.
Thank you, Willa. Thoroughly enjoyed how you weaved each slides together with your clever transition.
seems to me that with the last few slides about from youth innovators to the medical career path, seems that one is mostly participated, has the highest interest, the medical career path?
Those are part of Charles's programs for the summer. I'm not sure which one of them has the highest participation, but my guess would be the youth leadership, just because that's kind of the most general program that provides, youth leadership provides, they get a food handler's card, a library card, they learn how to do a resume. It kind of covers general life skills for teens. And then the youth entrepreneurs, and then he does the medical career pathways, future physicians, and the future lawyers programs. Those are all a little more specific to people who want to pursue those different pathways, but they're all very well attended.
Okay. Yeah, those are really wonderful programs. And for the gallery exhibit, and I'm happy to say that I just finished judging the exhibit for the next round. And I look forward to judging the Rolf Love Plein Air next week. I'm really impressed with the local talents we have among the artist community. And one feedback I have is I have a friend who attended the Beauty and Beast. She told me it's phenomenal, asked me to go, but that was the last minute. But one feedback she had was the parking. She said there seems to be a issue, especially with people may not be able to walk from here to the theater. She's asking, is there any other ways we can improve with the parking? Maybe some designated, some close by parking spots?
That's been an ongoing problem since it's in Old Town and there's limited parking, and there's very limited parking at the theater. So unfortunately, we've not found a good solution to that, but I do know it is a problem for a lot of our attendees.
Okay. Yeah, well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hawks. Yeah, it was just, again, a lot of great information, wide array of programs. Earlier in your presentation, you laid out several areas where what I gleaned from it was that you're setting the table for success as you move into these programs down the line. You're getting started well in advance, and so I think obviously there's a great deal of planning that this whole department has to do, and that was just evident in some of the examples that you laid out. I was able to get over, I'm glad I got over there this past weekend to the museum to see the Spirit of Tequila exhibit, and I always enjoy looking at photographs and looking at the history, the culture, and traditions of the origins of tequila, so that was interesting. I want to thank the museum for that exhibit. Also, I believe we were all at the Sister City breakfast, so it was nice to see some photos of that and to welcome our guests. And Isabel, great job. I know you were sort of the facilitator, leader that day, presenter, and you did an outstanding job, so thank you for that. And then it was neat to hear that our guests went over and had lunch with the seniors, so we're integrating that. Because with the human services impact, I believe I saw that number 3155. I mean, that's a huge footprint. I mean, that's a huge impact on providing opportunities for people through our human services programs. And then, as Vice Chair Hawks said, I mean, I'm just really impressed with the array of what we offer in this workforce development, and that we're giving. We got the camp opportunities, then we have the kids that want to do something more academic and more professional. They have several choices they can go into, and I mean, those numbers, if they're a little smaller, that's okay. I mean, I'm a former high school teacher, and hey, lower class size isn't always a bad thing, right? More individual attention, more opportunities. But it looks like that they've definitely had quite a bit of interest. So again, thank you again, Will. I appreciate it. All right, moving on our agenda. We are going to our consent calendar, I believe. And did we skip you? We did skip you. I jumped in and skipped you. That's why James is pointing over there. My bad, I usually do this once a meeting, right? That's my mistake for the meeting.
I think it's
Yeah, so because Vice Chair Hawks, I usually follow her. My apologies, Commissioner Audi.
It's
All
the
you, sir.
green, it's the green that is throwing you off. But I, as always, and Alan, great, you know, your first time here, it's great to see the master here on the presentations. We so enjoy it. And I gotta give you big props on the music history knowledge with the word skidoo. All right, that was excellent to tie that in with the jazz. So anyway, the very first thing you talked about, our new partnership, so to speak, with Care Solace. I was talking to Erica about that earlier. They've been a great resource for the school district, and with you know, mental health being a big priority, I think this is a really special thing for the city to offer. So it's good to hear that. And I'm going to just go right to, you know, what both Vice Chair and Chair were talking about in terms of those things that we do focused for students in the summer. And I'm going to have to make a public comment about there would be so much more power in what we do with that, with a better effort on working with TVUSD, private schools, and home schools to advance these programs for these youth. So it's amazing what we do. Charles's program is super, super special, and you know, we've talked about before the success of having one of those former participants coming back and being a success in the area that they attended. And we saw the example with Anna tonight, you know, how she's progressed up the ladder there and now on into another caring profession. So just really, really special stuff, and thanks for putting that together. And then last public comment, since you brought it up about parking in Old Town. I think we get to the point of, Old Town is just such a boon right now, and there's just so much success for businesses in Old Town, and what we have to offer as a city in Old Town too is very, very special. But you get to the point of it's going to, I believe, will start depleting if we don't make some really out-of-the-box paradigm shifts with how we view Old Town. And I know that our new Old Town Review Board is looking at that, and the council is hot on the tail of that. But I think just the way we look at things in terms of positivity and you know, considering that folks can walk a bit as long as we have provisions that are accessible for those that can't. And things like bringing back the electric carts, I know that's been a discussion before, but as long as we have those provisions, I think as a community we need to start looking at, you know, a little more activity to get to the theater. So a little less cars, a little more human power in the future. So that'll be the end of my comments tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Audi. Appreciate all that. Okay, now we will move on to consent calendar. Okay, we're gonna move on to consent calendar. We have one item on that consent calendar, and that is we are to approve our minutes from our last meeting on July 8th, 2024. So we need a motion and a second, please, Commissioners.
Motion?
Second.
Okay, thank you both. And we are ready for a voice roll call vote when you are.
Okay,
Isabel?
I will take the roll call vote. Commissioner Audi?
Yes.
Vice Chair Hawks?
Aye.
Chairperson Kingsburg?
Aye.
The vote is unanimous, 3-0.
All right, thank you, Commissioners, and thank you, Isabel. All right, next up, we have our Director's Report, Erica Russo.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. So we have a quorum tonight. Glad to see that. Also, I missed the mint green shirt memo, so I'm afraid I clash up here, but thank you all for being here. I just wanted to go over a couple of things. As you saw from the summer day camp presentation tonight, we've more or less concluded a summer absolutely chock full of programming. We're going to be having some staff members coming in and giving some presentations to you. I think next month we have aquatics. And then Charles will be here in October to talk about his program. So each month we'll be bringing someone in, but we have a lot to recap for the summer. It's been a great, fantastic, very busy, safe, fun-filled summer. So we're very happy about that. I know the homeless outreach street exits came up. I just wanted to reflect on that briefly. We just cleared 100 street exits this calendar year. And just to put that in some perspective, in the last 2 calendar years, the whole year ended with less than 100, substantially less than 100. I think last year we were at 92 maybe, and the year before that like 89 for an entire year. So we hit 100 at just about 7 months into this calendar year. So staff is doing an amazing job. They're working very hard. Our contracted outreach provider, SWAG, is doing a great job as well. But that also tells us that there's been a significant uptick in activity, because hard work on the part of staff alone wouldn't create that much more volume. So I think that reflects a lot of what sort of our residents and what many of us kind of intuitively feel, which is there are places in town you go and you sense like there's a lot of activity going on here. We are hopeful. I'm not sure how many of you are following the proposal for Prop 36 that should be on the ballot this fall. That would basically sort of revisit Prop 47 from roughly, 8-10 years ago, that decriminalized or reduced criminalization of a lot of offenses. And what it did was take a lot of things that were felonies and made them misdemeanors. And while I believe the intention of that was good, the unintended consequence has been that for our law enforcement, when they make an arrest for drug possession, possession of weapons, even what used to be felony assault has been downgraded to misdemeanor assault. What that means is when they're making these arrests, which are very common among our transient population, that individual gets taken over to Southwest Station, they get booked, they get processed, and they are right back on the street within 4 to 6 hours. Typically, it will actually take law enforcement longer to do the administrative paperwork of processing that arrest than it will actually take the person themselves, and they will be back on the street before the officer who is processing the offense will be. So, all of that is to say we're keeping our eye on Prop 36, and we believe that if Prop 36 passes, it will provide a little more, a lot of what we do in the field of homeless outreach is carrot and stick. There is a lot of providing resources, providing connections, providing beds when we can, treatment facilities, all of that, which is great. But for some individuals, you also need to have that consequence, which is you can't continue to engage in illegal activity, you can't continue to, vandalize people's property, you can't start fires on the escarpment. And it's nice to have a legal option that our law enforcement can use effectively when those issues present themselves. So just to give a little more context on that. And then, let's see, my last comment, I just wanted to thank the entire sports team for being here this evening. I appreciate all the support for fielding the badminton questions, and then also for supporting. Alan is a sports alum. He's now working in the Resource Center. Is that right, with Rashan? Yes, so he's doing rentals and Resource Center. Feel free to chime in.
Sure, yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank you. But he started out with the sports team right here, so it was just nice to see the whole gang back together. So that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Director Russo. Okay, next we have commissioner reports, and we will start this time with Commissioner Audi.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I'd like to thank Director Russo for the update on Prop 47. The new prop is Prop 36. And just what you said, law enforcement, people, they are out putting their life on the line every day, and they need that support. And I think that you have to have safety first before you can, all these special things we do. We even commented about it today with the camp, let's make it safe first, then you can have a lot of fun. So to have the quality of life we like in our community, it's got to start with safety. And if we feel safe, then we can do these great things. So appreciate you bringing that out in public and increasing the awareness of folks as that prop comes up in this next election. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the things we talked about tonight, was able to swing by the market a few times, you caught a couple of parts of a couple of different concerts, you know, different styles of music, and just love the venue. So as that concert series comes to an end, hopefully we can keep that going the way we did this summer. It was really a good vibe down here in the park and at City Hall. So that, I got an opportunity also to follow up on the Sister City event, meeting with the sponsors, the teachers, and the folks that put it on, for the people that sponsored it here in Temecula. And it's just a wonderful program. My hope is that we can keep looking for that next second sister city out there, the twin, that will really bring these great experiences back to another part of the world and bring that culture to us. So it was just really exciting seeing those kids and their sponsors and how they enjoyed the exchange here in Temecula. Also, you got to see the dog park opening. The Nagar Park is just looking really fantastic. A lot of great things going on there, and that community is will really appreciate the MRC, the new dog park, all the great facilities, the splash pad, and so forth. It's just really special for that neighborhood. Appreciate all of that. So again, staff, thank you. Presenters, thank you for being here tonight. And sports guys, keep it going. And I just love seeing our community just wants to be active, and you're doing everything you can with what you have to keep that activity and fun going on. So keep it going. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Adi. Vice Chair Hawks?
First, I want to say that also I agree with Commissioner Aldi that really staff and all the volunteers did a great job for all these summer programs for our community. And also I want to thank all the commissioners to come out to the welcoming the Japanese students and the dog park ribbon cutting. It's really fun to see all the commissioners there and showing support to our community. I remember the dog park used to a place that I took my kids there to fly kites. Now we can fly kites next to the dogs. And I also attended the board meeting of Temecula Symphony. That was really interesting, and they really appreciate their opportunity to play at the Old Town Theater this May, and they look forward to playing in front of the City Hall in November. And they also brought up similar situation about the parking during one of their discussions, but really quality program, and I'm really excited for them and our continued partnership with them. They really appreciate the city partnered those two concerts with them. And then next is I appreciate seeing our Chair Kingsburg at the Mike Nagar Park handing out lunches on Mondays.
Yep.
And thank you for your service there.
Thank you. Happy to do it.
And lastly, I want to thank Director Russo for bringing up that Prop 36, and it seems like a continued discussion among our residents. I hear it all the time, what are we going to do something? So it's good to hear that hopefully the voters are going to do something that we don't continue to play. I feel like it's a cat and mouse. We chase them, clean up one area, the next area showing up. Actually, my family even witnessed some drug dealing in front of the Armstrong.
Oh, wow, okay. I just sent each of you a link to the Ballotpedia update on Prop 36. So when you have a chance, you can find out, you can read in a little more detail what it entails there.
Yeah. Yes, yes, thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hawks. Yeah, I want to start tonight by just giving kudos to staff for all their hard work throughout the summer. As Erica suggested, I mean, it doesn't really feel like summer's over. Well, I know the heat's not over. That feels like a given, right? That's not going anywhere yet. But with the students going back to school this week, you know, again, the summer programs we're transitioning away from those. And I, like I said, having gone to a couple events, and I know our fellow commissioners did as well. You know, our staff are working with oftentimes large numbers of people, of students, and families. And they're the engine that brings the energy to these events and makes them successful. I go back to tonight in the first presentation. It was shared that what makes summer camp successful, I mean, the primary thing is the staff, right? It's the people, it's people power. It's training, it's people, it's expertise, it's teamwork, it's collaboration. So kudos to staff for all the work they put in the summer programs, every single person, wherever their position is, and again, often they did so braving the heat. So, and then I also wanted to, at the end of the summer period, give kudos to my fellow commissioners for demonstrating the commitment and teamwork. We provided representation at a significant number of events. I think you alluded, Commissioner Hawks, to the Sister City Breakfast. We had all 5 commissioners were able to be present for that. So I think that shows our dedication to that outreach for our visitors for such a significant event. At the last meeting in July, I asked for commissioner support for a senior center event, and sure enough, we got that support. Commissioner Sizemore graciously attended and represented at that event. Senior center staff was looking for someone to attend. Also, there were events added at the end of July, and a couple of those were mentioned. The Ron Park CRC and the dog park reopening. I was out of town that week, and I know multiple commissioners were at those events. In fact, I think at the dog park, I saw all 4 of you were there. So, I mean, our people are out there supporting, along with staff who, you know, provides that necessary energy. So real successful summer. I was able to get to a few things. Most of them were mentioned, so I won't repeat them. One thing that I attended, is the second time I've done so, is I attended the City Council Parks and Recreation Subcommittee meeting on July 23rd, and it was the night of the last City Council meeting, which I shared our commission update from earlier that month. And it's good to be a part of those meetings, even as really an observer, just to see how things, you know, work between the council, our staff, planning commissions, planning departments also highly involved. And more recently, I was able to get to the Senior Center event in August for the luau. It was a very nice event, good positive energy, and was pleased to get over and help with the art gallery evaluation. So it's been a good summer, a lot going on, but a lot of people pulling on the rope and contributing. So as I've always said before, it feels good to be part of a successful team here at the city and in this community services department. So with that, that should conclude our meeting, if there's nothing else. And we are going to adjourn the meeting at 7:13 p.m. Our next meeting is Monday, September 9th, here in these chambers at 6 o'clock p.m. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Well done, well done. Everybody. Hey, we